Anything
Can
else on
we?
the Alabama receivers?
No, because I'm so excited to get to our next guy.
All right. I wonder who it could be. So we grouped him into the wide receiver group. We could have grouped him into wide receivers, tight ends, demigods, whatever
Offensive
you'd
lineman,
like to do. Offensive linemen,
linebacker.
point forwards on a basketball team.
Yeah, he could play for he could be playing for the Nets right now since nobody else is playing for them tonight, and
A
probably
member,
drop 25.
a member of the Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
It could be any of these things. Kyle Pitts, tight end, hybrid wide receiver, Florida. Let's do it.
All right, so Kyle Pitts, he's only 20 years old. Blows my absolute mind. He was born in the year 2000. I have no words to that. He's 6'6", 240 pounds, ran a 4.44 Florida Gators and high school Archbishop Wood in Abington, Pennsylvania, not too far from either of us. I mean, first thing I have in my notes, he's a wide receiver in a tight end's body.
That is the one thing that I had in my notes. So I had a lot of people compare him to Travis Kelce. I compare him to Darren Waller. Waller's the best receiving threat on the Raiders, and we may have touched on this before. Waller is the best receiving threat on the Raiders. So they split him out wide a lot, and they don't care if he has a matchup with a corner or a safety or a linebacker. They're like, let's just get him out wide because he's our best option to catch a pass. That's what you're going to see with Kyle Pitts. That was my first note.
And that's exactly moving into what my second note is. He's a pure mismatch, no matter where he is. Put him inside, put him outside. I don't care who's on him. He has the mismatch.
Speaking of mismatches, we're watching his tape right now. He just went over a Georgia quarterback. His
and
tape
ran
as I was
through
watching,
others.
And then it took 3 people to bring him down. His tape reminds me of the high school tapes of Zion when he's at Spartansburg. Where he was just like dunking on these small little kids, except Kyle Pitts is playing in the SEC. Like this was just like he's playing at the highest level of college football. And you see on most of these plays, if you're watching on YouTube, and here's one of my favorite plays coming up because I think this is a play. Yeah, double covered in the end zone, and he just goes up and catches it over 2 Ole Miss cornerbacks. It's like he's double covered in every shot that we're watching.
Like not only did he go over and catch it, he ripped it out of the cornerback's hands and said, "Nope, this is mine."
It's the perfect combination of size and strength. We say that all the time. It's like a go-to phrase right now, but this is, I really mean it. This time, this is not a boy who cried wolf situation. Sound the alarms. Kyle Pitts, the perfect combination of size and speed.
And athleticism. He's just unbelievably, incredibly athletic on top of that. And he's fluid. He's agile. And he's such a good catcher of the football. Like he doesn't just have athletic ability. Like, those kids on your, youth team that's just like big and fast, but have no hands. And they're like, just get him out there because he's athletic. No.
Yeah.
He's get him out there because he's athletic, but he's skilled at the same time. And it's so scary. The combination of all of it, I give him to me now.
I know. I think he'll change the game. Like, I really think he'll change how defenses approach things. And we talk about linebackers and how they're not important. You're going to need linebackers who can fly to keep up with this. And just like safeties, we're going to have to match up. And you're going to like, oh, now we need safeties who are able to play at the line of scrimmage. But also, you have to cover like a quarterback. Like, he can literally revolutionize the game. It's fantastic. I love watching this tape. He breaks away. Ole Miss had a day. I'll tell you what, Ole Miss had a freaking day trying to cover this kid. This is the same game. This is just one game.
Everything we've just seen in these last couple of highlights are exactly what I have written down. Great at tracking the ball in the air, comes away with difficult catches. Vertical ability lets him get up and over defenders, comes back to the ball, and is QB friendly. All of that just happened in 3 plays.
He's got Kyle Trask is a good quarterback. I think he's underrated, but he's got to give some of his signing bonus to Kyle Pitts because this is just ridiculous. There's one, and I don't know where we're at in the highlight tape. I have his highlight tape memorized. I told you guys. It might be this play coming up right here. Oh, no, I saw J.C. Horn on somebody else. But he does score a touchdown on J.C. Horn. So this is what I'm saying. Like, he's making it look easy, and J.C. Horn is a projected top 15 pick.
Who could very realistically be on either of our teams next year?
Hint. We might get into J.C. Horn here too. Yeah. That's Surtain. Like, it's like these are the guys who we're talking about to be in the NFL, and he's just like treat these kids like rag dolls. It's hilarious.
So we haven't done this yet we kind of did, but outside of our division, I really don't think he's going to be there for 10, 11, or 12.
He is not.
If either of our teams want to get him, they need to go up and get him. One of our teams might have been able to get him if they just stayed where they were.
Yeah, like maybe get the 6.
I don't know. It's possible.
I don't know.
Because, if 4 quarterbacks go and then Peeny Swell goes at 5 and then, Pitts is just sitting there at 6. I don't know.
Chase.
Or Chase.
I'm going to end up in an insane asylum. I don't think people will realize how badly this draft show will go on Thursday, April 29th on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. If we get to 6 and Kyle Pitts and Ja'Marr Chase are still there, you will see me have a mental breakdown live on air.
If one of them is absolutely going to be there, I think unless Atlanta takes Pitts at 4 and then the Bengals take Chase at 5. That's the only way. But I don't think.
Then you would have had Sewell. Okay, we can't do it.
I think he's going to end up in Miami.
Ready
and
for
I think
my
he's going
bold?
to look great in Miami.
He would look great in Miami. He very much would. Him or Ja'Marr Chase. I can see them in that teal, that Miami teal. And Tua, I'm sure he'd love to. That was my question. I wonder if Tua says, hey, can you get Jaylen Waddle for me again? But here, you ready for my bold prediction? Here's my nugget. I've been excited to share this all day. I think I found something. I think I found something good. I can see him going forward to Atlanta, but if they trade out, somebody comes up for a quarterback or whatever it may be, or the team I'm about to say could trade up to get him. Kyle Pitts, you mentioned, went to Archbishop Wood.
He did.
He went to camp at Temple prior to his junior year of high school. And that's the first time ever he worked out at tight end, which is remarkable on its own. His first scholarship offer was immediately after the camp. Like, the Temple coaches saw him play tight end for a camp.
See where we're going here.
And we're like, yeah, I'm in. So Temple was his first scholarship offer ever. Their coach, who brought him into his office, personally sat him down and offered him after this camp, was Matt Rule. And then when Matt Rule left Temple, he came back as the Baylor head coach and offered him again. Matt Rule has been after this kid since he was 15 years old. He is not making it past 8 with Carolina. Kyle Pitts will be a member of the Carolina Panthers if he's there at 8, and the Panthers might even move up to get him. He's offered him a scholarship once, he's offered it twice, and he's not going to let him get by without drafting him this time.
And our good friend of the program, Colin Thompson, who's also a tight end for the Carolina Panthers, was obviously offered by Matt Rule at Temple. Also was a Florida tight end first, if I believe, went to Florida first, then was offered by Matt Rule at Temple, is now a part of the Carolina Panthers, and also played his high school football at Archbishop Wood. I was
about to say, it's the circle of life. Archbishop Wood must be a tight end factory.
They're a football factory for sure in Pennsylvania terms.
Jeez, that St. Joe's Prep.
Wow. Yeah, there's no way he gets past 8. You're right. It's not. I don't think he gets there, but if he does, it's one of those.
It's over.
Like, who's at 7? Lions,
Detroit. Yeah.
So let's say they take Rashawn Slater, like, and Pitts is still there. It's like, Detroit Lions select Rashawn Slater. The rules are just like, Pitts. He's going, Pitts. We'll take Pitts. You don't even he's running up to the.
Yeah. You ever do a fantasy draft and you're sitting there and there's one guy ahead of you, yes, and you're like, please don't take this guy. Please don't take this guy. Please don't take this guy. And he chooses just like, all right, I'm going to choose my defense. And you're like, oh, thank God. Yes. And you just run up with the sticker and slap it on the board in less than 10 seconds. You're like, oh, thank God. This is my pick. That'll be the Panthers if Kyle Pitts falls to 8.
Absolutely. That'll also be the Cowboys if some way he falls to 10, but he's not.
That's what I was going to say. If you want him, you have to trade up. He will not be there at 10. It just won't happen.
So there's obviously a lot of rumors around him and the Dallas Cowboys. We've talked about this on the show before. Jerry Jones is enamored with him, obsessed with him, in love with him. Aiden will tell you, well, just put any human's name ahead of that instead of Jerry Jones's name, and we all feel the same way.
Mm-hmm.
So the only way Jerry's going to have a chance to get him is to trade up to 4 with Atlanta, I believe. And as much as I love Kyle Pitts, as much as I think he's a generational talent, he's going to be a Hall of Famer. He's going to change the game. What they would have to give up to go get him at 4 with the holes that they have, especially on this defense, would just be too much.
You'd have to give up at least a first-round pick next year. So there goes your first-round pick for next year, plus multiple other picks. It is tough. Although we talked about it last time, I really think someone's going to trade up for a quarterback. Like, I just don't believe this Justin Fields hoopla. In the bad stuff, I mean, I have to clarify. I don't believe these character concerned things.
No, I think we're both on the same page with that, and so was Chase Senior when he was on with us last week.
Yeah, Dwayne Haskins from the start, I was like, no, don't like it, don't love him, don't like him as a player, didn't like him as a teammate. I don't get those vibes at all with Justin Fields. I think someone's coming up to 4.
So the only negative I had for Thanos Megatron here was he might have to just improve his blocking a tiny bit. But again, that is
you tell him.
Yeah, that's it. So I mean, there's nothing. That's it. Besides that, he's perfect.
My cons were he didn't play badly enough against Alabama to fall all the way to 12. That's my con. Is I wish he would have dropped a few passes against Alabama's defense, so he would have.
I mean, that makes perfect sense.
That's all I can think of.
All right.
All right.
You are you're listening or watching on YouTube to the Birds vs. Boys draft prospect preview show. We have gone through the wide receivers / tight ends. We're now going to make our way into 2 offensive linemen. And this show, of course, is powered by Branded Sports and brought to you by delicious Stateside Vodka. So we got to move into Vince's favorite name in the entire draft.